Welcome to the Freelance Drive. Here we talk with skilled freelancers about their professional journey. Stay tuned for real-life experiences to learn and actionable steps to take to improve your freelancing career. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Code Control and 9am.works, and my guest is Patrik Garten, a freelance AI solution architect and developer, software engineer, an IT coach, and lecturer who specializes in turning complex technical challenges into robust, scalable, and efficient solutions. And today we'll talk about how to build your freelance portfolio in a way that new assignments and projects will find you. So, welcome, Patrik.
Hi. I'm very excited to be here today. Thank you for the invitation.
Finally, happy to talk to you. And I'm curious about your professional journey, about your freelancing journey. How do you find your clients? And that's exactly what I'll be asking you about today. And the first question, how did you find your first client as a freelancer?
My very first client as a freelancer was a funny thing because it was a company I working for initially. So we go into a talk together, and I said, don't like the full employment anymore. Can we do it? But we see we have still projects. You need me. Can we do it as a freelance contract in future?
And what changed? What changed between full-time employment and a freelance contract? So you were working with the same company. What changed?
The all around the job, I would say. I decided where to work, when I work, and so on. I only have a deadline now. I have only certain things or requirements that have to met, but I decided the rest of everything now. And of course, the salary was a bit higher at the end.
So it sounds like they just trusted you more in this way.
Correct. So basically, we worked still some months together, and they already known me, and so they decided to, yeah, we need him, and we like the work he's doing. So let's go if we want to do this way, as they say. Do not stop leaving people and so on. And so I wanted to go on. I wanted to improve myself as well. And they saw this, and they say, okay, let him go, but not completely.
Yeah, I got it. And how do you find your clients now?
Nowadays, it's a bit of a mixture, to be honest. On the one side, I get, of course, inquiries during recruiters, different platforms, and so on. But also the mouth of speak that everyone talks about to everyone, and so yeah, that's also a very often used way I get new jobs. And of course networking platform, also platforms like LinkedIn and so on.
But to make people talk about you and especially refer projects to you, you need to be well known, kinda. You like you were talking about networking, so you need to be really, really good at this. And I'm curious, like, what is your approach? How do you build your personal brand? How do you build your network in the ways that people, first of all, find you, connect with you, and secondly, they even refer projects to you?
To be honest, you have to be an expert. You have to be that's the very first. You have to prove that you're the skill able person, and you know what you're doing there. So I'm completely no fan of faking some techniques or some skills I do not have, and that's an pity thing that it's more common nowadays. And that's at the end, the companies really appreciate it if you're very open and very honest. Also, I completely go into companies and say, okay, I couldn't do this or this skill. But I can do it another way, maybe, or in a similar way. Or I haven't worked on the start. It was a problem. That I do not have any experience, for example, in Laravel. But I very experienced in Symfony, and I convinced the client. So I have the experience in a similar or the fork from the of the project, the base project. So I can help them, and at the end, I mostly convince them it's not the thing about a language or a tool you're using. You have to be, you have to know what you're doing. You have to understand the problem, and you have to think in a more flexible way and what you can, how you can solve the problem for the customer. And if you can bring it up to your client, they are really convinced about this.
Am I hearing it correctly that if you see a job description, a project description, that you really, as a freelancer, have to understand the main problems they will solve, but know the skill, not the skill set. That if you are not a good fit for all the skills listed in a job description, it doesn't mean that you are not a good fit.
Yeah, correctly. I also apply on job description. I see, okay, there are one or two main skills they are required at the list, but the main problem in this project, if it's described, hopefully, that's most of the time nowadays a bit the problem that the problems are not very deeply described. So, but I just apply for it and try to convince them in my first letter that I say, okay, I think I'm still the perfect fit. Also, I haven't the license or the I'm not a certified tester, for example, let's say, but I have experience since 10 years as a software developer, developing test-driven and so on. So I should have experience with testing.
And how do you go through this skill filter? Because nowadays I know that many recruiters, many clients use some kind of system, some kind of additional tools that check your application and your CV and match them exactly with the skills that they have in the description. Like, how do you overcome this, let's say, filter?
Yeah, as I said, I do not fake any skills, but and the fact that I'm very interested in this field, and I also do a lot in my spare time with IT tech and so on, and looking into tax and so on. I have a deep knowledge in lot of tools and so on, so I can flexibly change some things here and there. I don't fake any skills then in any projects. I say, okay, I have on the top of my list of knowledge tools and so on. Also all categorized programming language, testing tools, and so on and so forth. And there I'm a bit changing from time to time to try to convince then at the end. And then I try to describe at the list of my projects then how it tackles the problem they have and how they're matching with this project.
So you're an expert and you're constantly learning. Okay, so it's the first part. What is the next part? Like, how do you build your network?
Go out. The most people think it's enough to click the button on LinkedIn, connecting. It's done. Okay, fine. And it's not. Definitely, we are living on in a very networked world nowadays, and I'm I'm completely IT native people thinker whatever, but go to different business networks, go out to networks, to events, and so on, and talk with the people. I even have still cards, ID cards. With me, not on by with me right now, but I still have one, and that's the thing. Your ID card uh, have to be unique. I
Hmm.
have a bit thicker cards, for example, with a core, a black core in it, so you feel it immediately in your pocket or something like this. And yeah, and that's it. That's really a thing. You keep in mind of the people, but also try to talk with the people. Not only click the button, connect, it's done, and
Hmm.
everything happens for you. I regularly, if I see someone connected with me, or I see someone I have wanted to connect, I send after a few days latest, then short text to this person and say, hey, cool what you do, blah blah blah, whatever. Let's talk, maybe talk 30 minutes in a digital coffee. And then I make this regularly, in fact. So go out and talk with the people. That's the most important thing, talking.
So it's the first step that you connect with a person, you had a conversation with someone, and how do you maintain your relationships? How do you ensure that people that you are connected with, that you are still in touch with them, they still remember about you, you still remember about them? So how do you support your network?
First of all, as you said, supporting today it's very important if your network shares something and so on, and you're very convinced about that. Uh, don't just like the thing and it's done and go away and think that you're helping them now, because that's not the algorithm for the first run, and the second, you're one of many people who doing this. If you share really look into this the commentary or to the article and so on, something like this, and then just comment something worthful, and maybe start a discussion. Maybe, and I even more the try to critical see the posts, for example, and I maybe I have the feeling I'm sometimes too critical, but the people loving it that there are someone who go behind and say, okay, they try to see this critically and want to really discuss a certain topic about it. And so you're absolutely in the mind of the person then, that, oh, you want, because nowadays it's not a common thing anymore to criticize in a positive way, criticize some certain things and so on.
It sounds like you are a really, really deep person who do not want just to add any comment, but really to understand what the problem is and to add some value. So
Yeah.
to start to not to start the person who made a post started a conversation, but to continue this conversation going. And I also know that it may take some long time sometimes. So how much time do you spend on social media, let's say per day or per week?
Hmm. Per day, I take at least 1 to 2 hours, I would say, only for social media and networking parts and so on. Not only social media, then also for calls, short calls, coffee calls, and so on, because I do not make daily coffee calls. It vary a bit, but yeah, in this span, like 1-2 hours a day.
Yeah, I'm just asking because I have this have a calendar reminder, check LinkedIn for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I have it like daily on my to-do list. And it doesn't mean that I have to do it in the morning or whenever, like anytime I just go to LinkedIn, go to feed, and then just find something that is of interest me. And I'm really trying to read the post and give a good answer. And I know sometimes like it's hard to go and talk to many people. So I'm trying to do at least one meaningful comment a day. But also it's also about posting stuff, etc. So I'm curious, what is your content creation process looks like?
My content creation process looks more like I'm the person. I have an idea. If I'm out on the train or on the railway anyway. So I have an idea, then I write down on my Notion page the idea at first, and then I add everything. And most of the time, I make an article out of it. For example, I just created an article about an old text I wrote for my studies in computer science. It was about ethics in artificial intelligence and why the people feared artificial intelligence, or do they have a fear about a super intelligence? So, and for this, I made a short article and I expanded and make go to this article and split out certain topics out of it and make now prepared some posts out of it. So basically, the next post goes about the is the general topic why and what is the super intelligence and why maybe the fear is here, and then something like also the in Germany it's called bedingungsloses Grundeinkommen, how this maybe could tackle the fear and so on. Also the fear of job losing and so on. It's also just topics go out from my main article, my main idea then, and that's the way I going to with my article creation.
So am I hearing it correctly that you have some idea, you write an article, like you post an article, and afterwards you kind of reuse your content, the article you created, you took it into pieces and create additional content out of that.
Yeah, correct.
Got it. And how, like, if we're talking about artificial intelligence, so how AI helps you in that? Do you use
Yeah, a
any
lot.
AI tools? Okay, so tell me more about that.
What AI solution architect and developer or AI? So I'm basically also a TÜV certified AI consultant. I was one of the first five or even five, or at least the first top 10 of the AI consultants are TÜV certified here in complete Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So the complete German-speaking countries. I think it's currently there are 20 out in every German speaking. So I'm still one of the first. But how does the AI tools helping me? As I said, a lot, because as I said, I wrote down my key points and so on, my ideas and so and then I go to ChatGPT most of the time, and then let's create a first draft out of every point and so on. Then I have a complete text and so on. Now, since last week, there is also Canvas out. It's improving this process so much more. It's insane working on an article like this because I can now work directly on a sentence, on a whole block of a part, and so on.
Hmm.
It's insane. I like this improvement, and so yeah, I have a first draft. I have trained also ChatGPT to use my language. I trained him for this because I do not want this the common ChatGPT talk and so on. It should be me. Either way, also I using this tool. Yeah, but it's only for connecting my ideas more or less. I'm not a texter at the end. I'm more the technical guy. I'm more yeah. That's that's a difference, to be honest. So, and on the end, I using like most of the time ChatGPT, to be honest, or Perplexity to if I heard something like
Hmm.
don't know, or I just know there was something. Is it really true and so on? So to check my sources, I like to using, for example, Perplexity because they can really search deeper in the internet and reference better to the articles then.
Oh, thank you very much for sharing this too. I didn't hear about that. And also, you made a very, very important point. I think that it's very important because previously, to make a post, to be out there, to write something, you has to have this kind of like writing skill. So you has to be like, know how to do it. But now I feel like with ChatGPT, really all those technical experts who usually say like, oh, I'm not a writer, I can do this, they can do it now.
Yeah,
You have all the experience, and here you are. Go to ChatGPT, like add some points, some tips, ask it to create it for you, and then just refine it. You don't really have to be a writer. You have to just have this experience. It's so easy right now. Wow.
yeah, completely. And or also has had problems to get my main points out into a text and so on in the past because yeah, as I said, I'm not a writer. I'm the technical guy. I'm an expert in certain field, but no writer. And at the end, I have now a tool who it's helping me to tackle this issue.
It's like I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I'm not a writer, I'm a programmer. But now,
Yeah,
like, you can become a writer using AI tools. Okay, so, Patrick, I really wish to have the sky is the limit to our conversation, but time is the limit. So, the final question: what is your favorite food?
my favorite fruit is in fact still lasagna. Even if I go vegan now, it's still a lasagna, but now vegan lasagna.
Vegan lasagna, got it. And what is the best way to connect with you?
The best way to connect, if I said LinkedIn, Patrik Garten, or if you look into in any platform you wish, even Instagram or so on. I'm used to known as I wrote it in the chat now, Pifgs. It's spelled Pifgx.
Hmm.
Pifgs. I'm everywhere out in the internet with this name.
Got it, Patrick. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And it's been such a pleasure to hear and learn from you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, hit the like button, 5 stars, and share it with your friend. That's it. We're done. See you in the next episode.